For today's brief tutorial, we're going to do a couple different things today, but for part one here, I'm going to tell you how to create a hyperlink in an InDesign document and process that out. So most of you have your portfolio started, they're kind of halfway done. It doesn't really matter. What we're going to do is just a one-page test document so you can understand the concept of how this works. So if you don't already have InDesign open, please make sure that you open it so that it is ready to go. We are going to create a new document in InDesign. This new document is just a single page test. So we're just going to go make sure in inches that it's 8.5 by 11. We're going to call this video test. Okay? What this does is, as I was mentioning, there are ways to embed videos into your documents and stuff, but it creates really big documents. And because we want to be able to email these or post them to the web someplace and people can watch them on their, or can look at them on their phone, the idea is we want to keep the file size as small as possible, because if we don't, it's going to be a real big mess. We only need one page, so make sure you change your pages back to 1. Otherwise, it will create 12 pages, and we don't need 12 pages in this document. So from here, we're just going to hit create. And it should, if we've done it right, we'll create a single page, 8.5 by 11 document for us to start working with. Now, as I mentioned, we need to have some content for this video. So if we are going to be posting our video from YouTube, you need to have already uploaded it to YouTube. If you need help, I'll make another video maybe another day about how to upload videos to YouTube. But there's also like 8 million videos on YouTube, how to upload videos to YouTube. So it's kind of irrelevant for me to make my own version of it, considering there's so many other good videos out there that already cover that topic. So with the assumption you already have a YouTube video created and uploaded, it's really easy to post that to your page and have it linked to your document directly. So I'm just going to go to YouTube quickly. I am going to find, let's see, what do we want to link here? Where is my... We'll go to our page. Let's pick a video off of our page. What's a good video? How to print. Where's the printing here? Photo portfolio printing. So I'm going to select this video. It would start to play normally. I'm going to pause it so it doesn't get too far along. All I need is the link from this video. So I'm going to highlight the link at the top, and I'm going to go Control-C on my keyboard and copy that link. Okay? Now, because I don't want to lose the link, and also because I want people to be able to type in the link manually if they needed to, we're going to just create a text box at the bottom of the page here. And inside that text box, we're going to go Control-V and paste the link that we copied off of YouTube. Okay? So that gets us started. Here is the link. You can make the font, or you can make the size bigger so people can read it a little bit better. Center it. There we go. Now, this is the like old school, you'd have to type it in way to do this. But for now, that's just getting started. So we want to make this a little more creative. Let's put video test at the top. And pick a crazy font. Okay. Now, our video because we're not going to place the actual video into our document, we need to have some kind of a picture, or essentially we're making a button, but we need to have some sort of image that relates to our video. So we're going to just pop back to YouTube again, and a couple different things. We need to grab one frame of this video. I don't necessarily want this one because that doesn't really show us anything, but what would be perfect is if I scroll forward here a little bit, there's a place where it says what the video is about. So this, Photography Portfolio Part 3 Printing, would be a good image to use as my thumbnail image showing off what the video is, so people know it's video and they know they can click on it. Okay, and hopefully this gives them the information about which video they're clicking on. In order to get this screen capture or this image, there's a couple different ways. You can't really do any kind of simple right click. It doesn't really work that way. What works best is if you go full screen, right? So that it's nice and huge. And then we have to use a little shortcut on the keyboard. So on your keyboard, you hold the Control button, and you should all have a button that says Print Screen. It's up in the top right-hand corner. It's the third from the right. So Control and hit Print Screen. And then what that will do is it will make a copy of all your monitors, like so the entire screen. And then what we're going to do, get out of YouTube, so hit Escape and just minimize this. And then you need to open up Photoshop. Okay? And inside of Photoshop, Photoshop is smart enough to be able to allow us to paste something in, and then we can crop it, and it'll know what's being held, what we just copied. So when we go to create a new document, when we go File, New in Photoshop, it will actually give us the right amount of pixels and the right height. I have 3 monitors, so it's kind of hilarious because we only need the one, but it does print screen all of them. You guys have 2 monitors, so your number will be slightly less wide than mine. But generally, because it knows that there's something being held in the clipboard, it will automatically size it accordingly. So when we hit Create, all we have to do now is go Control V, and it will post in all 3 of our windows. Now in this case, I don't want these ones on the left. I just want the one on the right hand side here. So I'm going to take the crop tool, and I'm going to crop the picture of this video frame out. Just like before, earlier in the year, when you're cropping something, you hit Enter. There's your banner. Okay, so this is my screen grab that I want now. I'm going to do a file save as. You can save it as a PSD, you can save it as a JPEG, whatever it is. The biggest thing you need to know is where you saved it. So make sure you're going to your F drive, into your ComTech folder, and you want to save this as video screen or video capture or screenshot or anything that'll describe it enough for you so you can find it later on. Okay. Once you have your screen capture set up, you can close or minimize Photoshop, and then go back to InDesign, and now we're going to place in that image that we captured off of YouTube. So we're going to go File, Place, and search to our F drive, go to the Comtech. Where do I have it here? Video screen. And then I'm simply going to click and drag till it fills the screen, because that'll keep it proportional. If you remember from your portfolios, you're going to have your description of what your video is above here. So you can type that in, but for today's test, we do not need to do that. There's a menu that you're going to have to open up in InDesign. It's not one of the ones that's already open, this hyperlinks one. If you don't have that on the side, which you probably won't, you're going to need to go to Window, Interactive, and then Hyperlinks, and click on that. Now, because we've already copied and pasted different stuff, we've lost this YouTube address won't be in our clipboard anymore. So we simply need to double click, select all this text, and do another Control-C. So we're copying it again. And the way that it works is if I have this box selected and I go to hyperlinks, I simply need to paste in this box. I'm going to delete this HTTP thing because it's already part of this and we don't want to have two of them. So if you highlight this and then you go Control-V, it will add in the new hyperlink to the YouTube. Okay? Because we want to make this document as like idiot proof as possible, we want to have this be a button and the video itself be a button. So we also want to click on the video here and add this same hyperlink. So again, highlight, Control-V, paste it in. Now you can see that there's a couple different links going on this same page. How's it going? No, it's right. Can't get it like framed again? Yeah, framed. If there's still a kid in the back room there at that computer. Yeah, take him. He's one of my video 20s. Where, like, the hyperlink window or the hyperlink to copy and paste? Okay, so that should give you two boxes, both of them being linked by a hyperlink. Okay? If you give yourself some space here, you can make another text box, and on our portfolios it says something like, click the video to view in YouTube or on YouTube. Right? And this will be Just a reminder for people, so hopefully they can figure it out. Now, in order to export this, if we were just going to print this off, we would simply need to export this document as a print-ready PDF. So we would go File, Export, and we would select Adobe PDF Print. But because we want those links to be active and to actually work, we have to select Adobe Pdf Interactive. Okay? When we select Adobe PDF Interactive, it brings us up a very similar pop-up window to any of the ones. We also need to make sure we have this saved in the right spot. So for me, this is kind of in a weird spot. I'm going to put it back in the F drive where it should be. So video test, hit save. It brings up this little pop-up box. Most of this default stuff is fine. We still want it to be spreads, blah, blah, blah. None of that matters. The only thing that must be connected is this include all, just to make sure that it embeds any thumbnails or any links or all this kind of stuff. It's more important when you're doing videos embedded in, but it's still, you want it to work this way. And then all we have to do is hit export, and Adobe will create the PDF for us, and then it will actually open it up for us. And if it did it right, all you have to do now is you can click on the video and it will pop up. It will pop up and open up YouTube, and you'll be able to view the video that you just linked to. Right? So, pretty cool feature to have embedded into your PDFs when you're creating it, and it allows us to put our videos along with all of our print material in the same document. So, kind of a neat way to do that. Now, if we were going to print this off, if it was our actual portfolio, we would need to save two versions. You still need to save a print version, because the print version is what's needed in order to actually print it as a booklet, etc., etc. And when you print it as a booklet, this is in the printing for a booklet video, but I'll just say it here as well. When you export it as a print, you want to make sure that we're not checking spreads. We have to export it as individual pages so that Adobe PDF can utilize that and can print your booklet for you and have it work properly. I don't know why all of a sudden Adobe Edge is my default thing, but if you notice, when I exported it now as a print-ready PDF, these links don't work. The bottom one still, the text one will work, because Adobe is smart enough to have any kind of URLs like this, they actually work. So I could click on the text and away it would go. So that's why we put in both of them, just to make sure that it always works no matter what format you have it in. Okay, so that in a nutshell is how to create a hyperlink within your PDF, within your InDesign document, and create interactive media. Hope you enjoyed that, learned something. See you next time.